Hey, my name is Alex Richards and welcome to the People Behind the Party, hosted by us here at the Birthday Party Network. Today on our show, I'm joined by David, who operates Paramount Kids and has recently taken over the reins of Foam Dart Thunder. We'll hear a little bit about how it all started, his plans for the future, and also some of the crazy things that Foam Dart Thunder is involved in globally. Well, welcome to our first ever Behind the Party people behind the party.
Thank you.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm David from Foam Dart Thunder and Paramount Kids as well.
Amazing. And we've known each other not that long, actually, but I've known of you guys, I guess. I've known of Foam Dart Thunder and Paramount Kids for quite a while.
Yeah.
So we've been kind of getting to know each other over the last few months as you've kind of taken over more of Foam Dart Thunder, but we'll get back to that anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be really great to hear a little bit about kind of where it all began for you. You know, Paramount Kids I know was your first kind of thing, but you know, what's the story?
Yeah. So my background was a DJ, party DJ, wedding DJ, club DJ. I kind of went round doing different things for about 15 years. And then I got asked to do a kids party one day, and I was absolutely terrified. I couldn't think of anything worse. I thought, oh, lots of kids running around. I can't do that. Not used to that. I'm used to grown-ups. But I said I would do it as a favour, and I'd done it. And one of the parents said, that was amazing. Can I get your number? And I was a bit taken back, thinking, you know, I was just a favour. I don't do this. And I kind of went away and thought about it. And, you know, it was fun. It was fun. It didn't feel like work. It was enjoyable, and seeing the kids enjoy themselves was, you know, rewarding. You know, it wasn't like a traditional grown-ups party. You know, there was no drunk people falling about and stumbling at the end. It was, well, they were, but it was on sweets.
That's right. Yeah.
Sugar and juice.
Kind of madness.
So after that, I kind of thought. I was good friends with somebody who used to be a holiday rep in Turkey, and he said, "Oh, why don't we put something together, a kind of package that resembles a holiday type entertainment."
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Feel, you know, everyone comes back from the holiday and says, "Oh yeah, the entertainment was amazing," and the kids were loving the mini discos and things. And I thought, you know, it'd be really good if we could capture that element of things and bring it here, so that every party was like a holiday experience. Everyone was so excited and so happy. So we put this package together, and took a couple of initial bookings, and it just kind of grew, and people seemed to like what we were doing. We kind of went out as a duo, I suppose. So I was learning from him all the time, and I'm a terrible dancer. I'm typical dad dancer. I cannot dance at all. He, ironically, was a trained dancer.
Okay.
So, you know, he was teaching me cha-cha slide and the Macarena and things, and it was a stand-up gag at parties that I would get things wrong. Kids would love it.
Would notice.
and you know, he would mention that I got it wrong, and kids would laugh at me. And then we used to do a bit of kind of slapstick humour as well. We'd have some custard pies there. So if he mocked me for getting the dance wrong, when he's giving the instructions for the next game, I'd slap a custard pie in his face. And kids really enjoyed it, and it was fun. So yeah, that was kind of how it all began. And he ended up wanting to concentrate more on his dancing and things. He's never, although he was there at the beginning, Paramount was always mine. But he was, you know, an influential part in starting. He wanted to pursue his dancing, so he moved away to London. So that's fine. Occasionally came back for larger events to help out if we needed more than one. And I ended up taking on some other entertainers to help me out, and it kind of went from two of us to just one single person going out for the parties, because it wasn't the same. It was, you know, what we had started, it was kind of, that was us. And I tried it with someone else, and it just wasn't the same chemistry.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
And we found that, you know, the kind of formula that we developed for a party was working with just one. It didn't need the two. It was nice and it was enjoyable for the entertainers, but it didn't need it. So just continue to run it with one, unless again, you know, it was a larger event, we needed more. So yeah, that's pretty much Paramount and how it began.
Yeah. And I guess it's kind of funny because from a business side, we were the same with some of the events we would send out. We would have 2 people, and then eventually it was like, actually, we don't need 2. Like, we can do it with just one person. And so even, you know, from a business point of view, I mean, you save a fortune.
It's productivity, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, you can have 2 people going out and doing 2 parties, or 4 people going out doing 2 parties, or 4 people going out doing 4 parties.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's all relevant, isn't it?
It makes sense, yeah. And if you don't need it, then
yeah.
So Paramount Kids in its current, you know, in its current existence right now, what if you were selling me the Paramount dream to book a party? Do you know what I mean? Like, what would you be saying?
I just, you know, fun, non-stop fun from start to finish. You know, all the entertainers are briefed that the party doesn't start when, you know, if it's a 1 o'clock start party, the party starts as soon as the first kid walks through the door. If it's a birthday kid, fantastic, make a fuss.
Yeah, love it.
The parents, you know, it's almost a character that they have to get into. They have to be that person from the word go. Not oh, hi, such and such, I'm your entertainer for today. It's very charismatic and hi, how are you doing? Oh yeah, high fives, birthday kids, you know. Just being a bit different, you know, real, you know. So yeah, I think just it's a bit different, a bit out there, not boring, fun, energetic.
So it's high energy. It's like, what is it, sort of like party games, or like what's the kind of rough format? I've never been to one, so you know, I don't know.
Need to come along.
Do you do other ones?
So yeah, party games, party dances, comedy, magic. That's kind of the elements. Every party should contain all of those elements. When I say magic, I'm not Dynamo. Please, you know, if you come along, don't think I wasn't expecting this. But yeah, it's comedy magic. In fact, I've had a better reaction when things have gone wrong than when they've gone right with kids.
Yeah.
Kids are funny, you know, they like when things go wrong.
Yeah.
They just point and laugh at you.
Yeah.
I literally had my very first, I bought a trick, and I was really excited about it because it sounded really funny. It came with an audio CD to play along with it, and you were to pretend like you were following the instructions with the audio. I'm doing it along with the kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're in character and you're doing it away, and that ultimately you had to make a banana disappear. So I was doing all my actions and following the CD, and you had to put the banana into a napkin. And when you open it up, then the banana is meant to vanish. Banana didn't vanish. It fell on the floor in front of me and just splatted all over my trainers. It was just mush. And I kind of, it hadn't happened before, so I didn't really know how to react. But the kids' reaction,
I loved it.
They thought it was hilarious. So I fed off that. And it was just, it was brilliant. Probably one of the best parties I've done just because of that reaction.
Because of the kids.
And actually, the next time I was going to do that particular trick, I thought, did I get it wrong? Because I know it's funny when I get it wrong, but then I don't want to get it wrong because then they think I'm rubbish. Catch-22.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Yeah, that's cool. So your current setup, is there a group of you? How many is there roughly of you?
So I've got 7 currently, 7 entertainers that go out and do those types of parties. So Paramount as well, when we started doing Nerf parties as well.
Oh, okay.
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then I started helping out FDT and running those parties.
The Foam Dart Thunder.
Yeah. Sorry. Abbreviations.
That's right.
Yeah, so that was that kind of connection. So that's how we started talking at the very beginning as well. I needed a party covered, so I contacted Foamed Out Thunder.
Okay.
I see you do Nerf parties. I've got one. I can't do it. Do you want it? So yeah, that was that kind of connection starting.
Very initial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great kind of lead into kind of now, what's happened since Paramount. So Paramount's been going how long?
2013. Same exactly the same time as Foamed Out Thunder.
As Foamed Out Thunder. So you've been going 6 years. So
Yeah.
do you want to just explain kind of then, how Paramount ended up becoming, or you became Mr. FDT, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with the previous owner of Foamed Out Thunder whilst I was running his Nerf parties for him. While still running Paramount, I was running his Nerf parties for him, and he asked if I'd be interested in buying the business. And I said, yeah, let's chat. And we had numerous conversations about it, but ultimately the times we spoke, it was never something happened. Something kind of got in the way. So it was always put on the back burner. But it was, the initial conversation was always, this might happen. And then I was asked again in December. Excuse me, sorry, phone ringing. I was asked again in December if I'd be interested in taking over the business, and we had another chat about it and decided that it was the right time. I was just about to start pushing Paramount Nerf stuff again because it kind of, because you'll know, with having so many different things, or I mean, I don't have nearly as many as you do, but offering different services, things can get lost. And I was so preoccupied with the discos and the magic side of the parties that the Nerf stuff kind of fell behind a little bit. So I was just about to start pushing it again, and I was contacted asking if I wanted to buy it. So I kind of thought, well, I can push the Paramount Nerf, or I can kind of fade out of Paramount and then keep it solely as Foamed Out Thunder, and then the two, the identities of them are kept.
Yeah.
So that's what I done. So January, I took over Foamed Out Thunder, and have been working with that and Paramount, and running about after kids. Yeah. My own specifically. So yeah, Foamed Out Thunder, it's great. Like yourselves, Nerf parties, but we do skate parks, stadium events, Ocean Terminal, shopping mall. We do the Terminal Infection at Ocean Terminal, which is the one with the zombie actors
stuff. Yeah.
And we were doing a Battle Royale one for a while, which is Fortnite themed, because that was such a massive craze.
Yeah. Still is. I think it's toning down now a little bit. Yeah, I think so as well. It's
until the next thing comes along.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just I'm right now. I'm thinking about events for next year. We're thinking about can I say this? We're thinking about a UK tour for Terminal Infection for next year.
Amazing.
So we've got 8 malls lined up so far.
Wow, that's crazy.
So the idea would be to take it to different city.
Yeah.
Every month, which is cool, quite exciting.
Yeah.
A few other really exciting venues that I'm really, really excited about, but I can't tell you about them just now. They're still very early stages, but if they come off, it'll be pretty cool, and another first for the UK.
Yeah.
And as far as Nerf events go, so that's really exciting.
Yeah. Was FDT the first to do a Nerf Wars in a mall in the UK? Is that one of your claims to fame?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
and stadium as well.
And stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I've not been to a stadium one, but I've been to the Ocean Terminal one.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's absolute Organized chaos.
It's organized chaos. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just amazing to see that kids are running around like crazy. And I was there with the zombie guys, and they're just kicking about. You know, it was really
it's
cool
just
to just
different level, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's a different experience. And that's exactly what it is. It's an experience. It's something that the whole family can do, even if you're not into Nerf.
Yeah,
it's just fun. It's exercise. It's very inclusive as well. You know, Nerf as a hobby, as a game, is very inclusive.
Yeah.
So, you know, for those who maybe don't enjoy football or tennis or something, you know, there's something else. They're going to get a ton of exercise, and probably more so than running about a football pitch. You know, you're running away from a zombie. You're not stopping.
That's right. And I have to say, some of them are proper scary. Like, I was amazed at, but I think what was really cool when I was there, I noticed there was one kid who was a little bit edgy at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it was just really cool how he was almost introduced to the zombies to be like, look, these are not absolute, you know, like, these are normal people. It's part of the game. You know, we want you to feel included and get involved. But at the same time, you know, they're gonna chase you. But
no, absolutely. And a couple of occasions, kids were introduced to them before they got their makeup on. And then after they got their makeup on, so they could see, oh yeah, that's such and such. You know, you met them already. Yeah, and it just it makes them a little bit more at ease. But so we've got a stadium coming up in October, Falkirk Stadium. So that'll be really cool because it's not just a straight kind of hallway. We've got corridors and stairwells and things as well. So it's going to be a bit more interesting in terms of the games and what they can actually achieve, and they'll have to find other team before they can actually play the game. So it's quite cool. So yeah, lots in the pipeline.
Yeah, and you were just in London as well, were you?
So we'd done our first London skate park on Saturday as well.
Amazing.
So that went really well. We had 27 players, and you know, 27 players for our first ever event in that area is amazing. I'm over the moon with that. And with that kind of initial response, I don't see any reason that we can't get 50 players in there.
Oh yeah,
for the next one. Because it just takes, you know, someone to say, we went to this and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go. So yeah, that's really cool as well. I've been speaking to, there's a guy in America called Jared. He holds Jared's epic Nerf battle. He takes over the Dallas Cowboys stadium.
Does he hold the world record?
He does. Yeah, he does. Apparently he could have beat it last year. He was about 1,000 over, but it cost so much to get the Guinness World Records officials out that he said it was too much hassle.
Really?
To beat his own record. He said it was too much hassle. And he also said that the record, he said everybody had to be on the pitch, standing in a position, and couldn't move for an hour while the officials kind of counted everyone and made sure everyone was in the right sort of proximity. And he said it was a real pain. He said I'm not doing it again. But at least he's got it. So yeah, he's hopefully coming over next year to attend an event, which would be quite cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Having him come over as, you know, he's, as far as I don't like to use the term influencers, but as far as influencers go, he's right up there with Hasbro and Nerf, and you know he's very well respected. Yeah, and I think he's one of the only people in the world that Hasbro endorse his event. And sponsor his event. You know, it's his name. Yeah, and they don't do that with anyone else. So you know, he must be doing something right.
He must be. Sweet. Because I think it's interesting, even with the Foam Dart Thunder stuff, I feel like there's, you know, Paramount's cool, but it's definitely like a birthday party company that runs. But Foam Dart Thunder's like this weird kind of following. Like, isn't it? Like, it's like a community. I mean, weird in the sense of like, it's just strange that.
Dig yourself out.
That's right. I know. It's like, but I mean, weird in the sense of like, it's not. Foam Dart Thunder isn't a business in a sense.
No. No, I know what
It
you mean.
is, but it's like a community of people who just love Nerf,
Yeah.
and you're doing it to a really, really high standard,
Yeah.
which is really, really cool to see.
No, it is amazing that, people will literally travel around the world to come to an event. I mean, that's crazy. That's, talking about like Foo Fighters playing and someone jumping on a plane saying, because I want to go and see them.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing myself to them, but, it's that same thing.
Yeah.
People think that's really cool. I want to go to it, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Giving what it is, but it's a big deal to some people.
Yeah.
And it is nice that it's got such a following.
Yeah.
It's and people are so helpful as well. You wouldn't, the amount of messages we get saying, "Can I help out at this event? If you need help, let me know." Or people just promoting events just because they want to see it successful.
Yeah.
Them. I'm not going to it, but you need to go to this because it's really cool and it's it's really nice.
Yeah.
Just the same as the Speedball League that we run. So Speedball is the UK's only competitive Nerf league. So we've done season 1, 2, 3. I have to clarify that. Yeah, we're going to do organising season 4 now.
Okay. We got there.
Got there. So yeah, organising season 4. That has a nice following as well, and it's because people want to be a part of it. They want. I'm part of the only UK competitive Nerf league. That's quite cool to some people.
Yeah.
And the idea behind it is that it rolls out further and goes beyond the UK, and we have a massive league running with all these different teams from all over. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's still early days, but I think as it gains momentum and people start hearing about it, and all these people who are invested in it just now, they'll sell it to their friends, like, you need to come along to this. Be a part of this. This could be huge.
Yeah.
I need to try and get people on board in terms of sponsors and try and raise the profile of it a little bit more. I tried Red Bull, they weren't interested.
No, not yet. Give it time.
But actually, no, I say they weren't interested. They sent me a really nice email back saying it looks really cool, but we're I can't remember how they put it, but our quota is full for this year or something. So I'll try you next year.
Yeah, that's right. That's interesting. I think it's kind of crazy though to think that what started its humble beginnings as like a small kids' birthday party company could be on Red Bull's radar.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and talking about large companies, Hasbro, know off Foam Dart Thunder. I've spoken to Hasbro on a few occasions, and they've donated blasters and things for to give away at events. In no way do they endorse us or anything. Make that clear right now. But it is something that I hope to achieve.
Yeah.
It is a goal. And something you have to have in business. So you have to have goals and targets, and talking to these people is important.
Yeah.
And if I can get 10 minutes in front of someone in Hasbro Nerf and have a conversation with them, brilliant.
Yeah.
Might not mean anything that day, but 6 months down the line, they might remember me, and I don't know. Got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even looking at the way that Nerf has gone on YouTube and the way that kind of following, like, what's the Drake? Is it Drac?
Yeah.
I can never know how to pronounce it, but like
Drake's a singer.
Drake's that's a very important difference. But yeah, even like the following that Drac has got from just showing Nerf guns on video, and it is just crazy to see
absolutely.
influence.
People, it's crazy that people respect someone's opinion so much and enough to follow them and take their word for the next blaster coming out is the best thing since the first blaster ever. It's a bit nuts. I often wonder if I made a video saying this is a new blaster, if anyone would actually pay attention to it, or it was just like, what's he talking about? What's he know?
Yeah, he's not Drac.
Or Drake.
Or Drake. Either of them. Yeah, well, anyway, we're a bit nerdy about our Nerf stuff, so it's quite interesting. But yeah, I guess maybe going back to kind of the business side. So we've heard about Paramount, we've heard about Foam Dart Thunder. What's kind of some of the biggest challenges that you find in running a kid's birthday party company?
Time. Time constraints. Absolutely, definitely, 100%. And putting trust in others. I find that really difficult. All of my guys, and they probably all hate me for it, but I still say, drop me a text when you're arrived at the venue.
Yeah.
Just so that I can then switch off and move on to the next thing. If I don't get that text, I'm immediately panicking. What's happened? What's going on? And all this time hasn't stopped that. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Or call them the night before. Everything okay for tomorrow?
Yeah.
I know it's okay for tomorrow, but still, I feel that I have to, as manager, as owner, you feel like you have to chase that up and you have to be sure. Spreading myself between the two, it's quite challenging. I often am not in bed before 2 a.m. I'll get my kids to bed at 9 normally-ish, after picking them up from whatever club or class they're at 7 days a week. And then I'll sit down and answer emails and send out invoices and work on whatever I need to work on. That's not to say that I'm not doing that through the day as well. But I try and allocate literally probably from about 9 till 1 a.m. will be my time that I'll sit down in the office and switch off all distractions and just focus on work. And as much as it's hard, I do try and allocate enough the same time to both. You know yourself that some days one will take more of your time than the other, but I do try and give them both equal attention. Having said that, I have been paying a lot more attention on FDT recently because it's just consuming more of my time. There's much more going on planning wise. It's different from that point of view because it's an events business as well as parties. Paramount's parties. I get an email saying, "Can you do a party on this date?" Yes, we can. Cool, done. FDT's planning, logistics, everything. Like I say, events for next year planned already. Setting date, date set and deposits paid. It's quite. I need a secretary actually.
So, thinking about what it would look like, having a venue, I think as well, the thought behind, again, we've kind of toyed with that. Like, what would it look like to have a space in Ocean Terminal or in a shopping centre where you could, there's tons of parking, people could just come drop their kids. I know that there's a few cool companies out there that are starting to do similar things like that, like GUI events. I think in Scotland is one of the big ones. I don't know if you've heard of them. They do like slime parties and chocolate parties as well. And I think they definitely have one venue. I think they maybe have two. And I know like quite a few kids have heard really good things about them. They have this kind of solid location and it's cool. There is that all in one package. I think as both mobile operators, we found that there's that element where I would love to be able to do food, but like, how am I going to bring sandwiches and, or I'd love to do a cake and it's like, well, how can I do a cake? And so would you say like, if you were to drop everything and be like, right, Paramount Kids, boom, this is where I'm going. Do you think having a venue is the ultimate goal or?
I think so. I think, as much as it creates problems itself, I think it alleviates problems as well. Entertainers not turning up to a party. We're here. We've got staff. Choose someone else. I just, not finding venues not being big enough. All the little things, I had someone a couple of weeks ago call me saying that was horrendous. I had to park 3 streets away. There was no parking at the venue. Little things that should have been relayed to me at the booking, that there was no available parking outside the venue.
Yeah.
Or it didn't have a car park. These little things, they might be insignificant to a parent, but for a business owner, when you, especially a particular entertainer, had somewhere else to be after that party, which we allowed an hour and a half, which was quite fortunate that we gave more time than normal, because he had to walk 3 streets back to his car after taking equipment back and forward. So I think a base would be the big goal from here, as far as Paramount is concerned. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, even it's just funny even thinking about that idea of, you're juggling so many details with the party. You're getting the kid's name and their age, and all of a sudden you turn up at the venue and you can't park anywhere, and it's like an absolute trek. And it's funny because you think, well, why didn't you just ask? In the sense, but it's like, I do 15 parties a weekend. Like, I can't ask every tiny detail to be like, is there parking?
Yeah.
Is there a power socket that I can get to within, 2 meters of where I need, like all of these things that, it's just funny, isn't it? Like, there's so many, and you learn all the things as you go, but you don't know until it happens.
Exactly.
And then parents are like, oh, that's a weird question. And it's like, I know it's weird, and 99% of the time it's not a problem.
Yeah. But
there's always the 1%, and that 1% is the time when we need to know, this random quirky detail.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So so Paramount Kids, if you're thinking, solid base, what's kind of the future for Foam Dart Thunder, do you think? Well, it's massive, eh?
Realistically, I would love it to go overseas, go global. I think the brand is strong enough to hold its own. Toyed with the franchise option of it, but I don't know. There's pros and cons. Do I look at that, or do we just get people to run it in different locations? And keep hold of it, because franchises are funny, aren't they? Because you're loosening the reins, you're letting go. You've got no control of what that person does to your brand and your reputation in their area. I mean, you'd hope that they'd want to make it work and build it, but you just don't know.
You can put as much legal framework in place, but ultimately, like, they can still do so much damage if they want.
And I'm not sure I'm willing to accept that or let it happen. So I think keep it kind of close to my chest, and go slowly, but see if we can get it rolled out there. There's so many hundreds of malls around the UK that we could be doing events in every week. Hundreds of skate parks across the UK that we could be in. Stadiums, the opportunities are endless, and we've got, like I said, some really exciting venues in the pipeline. That I'm really excited about. Really excited. I mean, I don't think I've ever played Nerf other than with my kids. But I can honestly say the next thing that we're looking at, I would love to just run about. It just looks so cool. We'll talk about that next time.
That's right. Next time, when it's all happened, we'll be able to. Well, it sounds like there's some kind of really amazing things happen. So I've got 2 more questions left. So my first question is: have you got an ask? So kind of the people we hope that are kind of listening to our podcast are, hopefully we've got some FDT customers who are just intrigued, or Paramount customers are intrigued about you and how it all began. We have the suppliers within the Birthday Party Network who are kind of other people running birthday party companies. No, do you have an ask that you want to ask and see if anybody will get in touch and help you out with? I don't know. I've put you on the spot.
Yeah, I know. That wasn't on the list.
That's right.
No, we're all, like I said earlier on, we're looking for people if they're interested in sponsoring the UK's first competitive Nerf League. Always looking for people to get involved in that. If anyone knows of any unique venues or anything that they think would be cool to host an event, drop me a message. That'd be cool.
And the with the Speedball League, is it possible? Does it have to be like an FDT group, or there's lots of other Nerf party companies out there? Could they say to you, "Hey, we want to start a league"?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we jump in and be a part 100%. Of that?
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah,
yeah. The more we can raise awareness, the better.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Speedball doesn't make any money. It's not.
Yet.
It's not a profitable part of the business. It's all about creating something new and seeing how far it can go.
Yeah.
It's so. I'm not sitting here thinking, yeah, join in, and then rubbing my hands together. We literally cover costs. The venue hire's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
It's and the cost of the rival balls. We need to replace them more often because they're getting used every week during the 8-week league. So yeah, the more people we can get involved, the better. Yeah.
Fantastic. And lastly, we want to ask every guest this, as a kid, do you have a memorable birthday party that you had that you're like, this is where Paramount started when I was 7, when I was 8?
I never had birthdays, Alex. I could afford them. Just brought back memories, thanks. Right. No, I did actually have a magician when I was a kid. I remember maybe about 6, 7. I remember having a magician. Don't remember if he was any good or not, but I remember having a magician. I suppose, I had that. My uncle used to do magic.
Okay.
So I was always kind of around that. He would always come and show me things, and I'd think it was cool, and he taught me some things, and I think that was cool. And then, my parents would have people come round for dinner, and we'd get thrown into our bedrooms, and I'd go out and show them some cool stuff that I thought was cool, that I learned from my uncle. So I suppose I've always been a bit of a performer. Always, I went to acting school when I was a kid, and played Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Claim to fame.
So yeah, I think I enjoy being on a stage and performing. I think it's quite cool. It's great, but doing it with kids is just hilarious.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Yeah,
it's I had little off topic a little bit, but a little girl came up to me once in a Sainsbury's and tugged on my t-shirt and said, "I know you. You're the funny guy," and made my day. Whether I was the right guy or not. I mean, she might not have seen me at a party. She might have just thought I looked funny, but that made my day. I thought, that's why we do it. It's enjoyable, it's fun, and seeing these kids with a smile on their face beats any day job. Makes it sound like it's not a real job. No, it is. What was the question again?
What was your most memorable birthday party? I think you covered it.
Magician.
I
think that's the only one I remember. I think that's the only one I got.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for coming down and talking to us. I hope our listeners have enjoyed hearing a little bit more about Paramount Kids and Foam That Thunder. And it seems like there'll be exciting things in the future.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's all for today's episode of The People Behind the Party. Thanks for listening, and thank you to David for joining me today to share more about his plans and as he drives 2 great businesses to success. Join us again soon, as we'll be meeting another person behind the party and finding all about their business too. If you haven't checked out the Birthday Party Network yet, then I would definitely encourage you to head on over, where you can find a place jam-packed with loads of help for you to grow your birthday party business.